Hi, I'm Daniel Foley from the Abundant Life Training Center, and welcome to this week's yearly cycle updates. We are in January of 2021. We're getting our year off to a fresh start here, hopefully. We've been talking lately about finding God's direction for our lives, about how He wrote a book about our lives, and we can begin to align our lives with what was written in His book, about how in that book, maybe this year, there's a chapter title for this year. And what is that chapter title? What's the direction we're supposed to be moving in over the course of this year of 2021? But once we find that direction and we get started on this journey to walking out the year, then we got to learn to trust and enjoy the process. I know I had a time when I was in college, I was playing college baseball, and I had been sick. I'd actually had mononucleosis, and I missed a good chunk of the season. And I came back, and it was my last year, my senior season in college, and I was trying to put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. But it just wasn't going very well. The more pressure I put on myself to perform, the less results I got, the worse I was doing. And finally I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and I'm going to just enjoy the game. I'm gonna enjoy being out there in the game, have fun playing the game. And as soon as I made that mental decision, I had some of the best games that I had pitched my entire college career. And so we must learn, I've learned, to not only trust, but also to enjoy the process. Let's talk about how do we trust and enjoy the process. I want you to think about this. If we're going to walk out God's direction and plan for our lives this year, that's going to take faith. It's going to require walking by faith and trusting that God's going to unfold it at the perfect time, and that He's got good intentions for us. He has a good plan. He knows how to guide us, how to help us to walk out that plan. He knows the perfect timing for everything, how it's supposed to unfold. Now, there might be times as we're walking out that plan where we don't understand everything that God is up to in the current moment of what we're working on, what we're doing. But we might not understand it all, but we can keep moving forward, trusting that if that's the direction that He's told us we're supposed to be moving, that's the direction that's the best for us. So it requires trust in His intentions. It also is going to require trust that, hey, I don't have to figure this all out. I can turn over my worry, my stress, anxiety, frustration. I can turn those over to Him because I can say, you know what? I trust you. I trust that you're going to help navigate me along this path. You're going to show me what to do. Because if we're going to do something new in our lives, it's going to require doing some new things. And we may not know what to do all the time. It's just going to require learning to trust. And what's the beautiful thing is this. When we trust, what happens? We rest. When we trust, we rest and we stop trying to figure it out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out what's the direction I'm supposed to be moving. And then I'm going to do what I know I'm supposed to be doing. If there's anything I know that I'm supposed to be doing, do that. And then as opportunities present themselves to do good things, to help people to do good things in life, we can do those as well. So we're going to show up, do what we know to do, and then we can also do the good things as opportunities present themselves. We can look to do good at every opportunity that we have. And what I want you to remember is this, the indicator, as we go through this year, the indicator that you're trusting is hope and confidence. The indicator that you're trusting in God, that He's going to unfold this at the perfect time, is hope and confidence. In the dictionary, the definition of hope is the feeling of trust. Hope is the feeling that's generated when we trust. And then in the Amplified Bible, the definition of hope is the confident expectation of good. This is not confidence in ourselves. This is confidence that God can make it happen through us, that He's going to unfold everything at the proper time, the confident expectation of good. Now you look at the examples in the Bible. Jesus tells the disciples, hey, let's go to the other side. It was to get in the boat and let's go to the other side. That's the direction they're supposed to be going. But usually when they got in the boat, there were some storms in the middle. It's trust, it's hope and trust and the confident expectation of good that we put in God that gets us through to the other side. Because when we find out the direction we're supposed to be moving and we start that journey, usually it's not the journey we expect it to be. Usually there's some obstacles, there's some storms along the way, and it's trust and hope and confident expectation of good that gets us through the middle. So the year is probably not going to unfold exactly the way we all pictured it. It's going to be different than we expect, more than likely. And it's that hope, it's that trust, it's that confident expectation for good, that even though maybe a storm is going on, I can stay at rest, trusting that God's got me. And what happens? A beautiful thing happens when I finally rest. I stop putting all the pressure on myself. What am I doing when I finally rest? I'm giving myself grace. I'm receiving God's grace, and I'm learning to give myself grace. One of the biggest things we need to learn how to do to trust and to rest and to see this year be a great year is to learn to get ourselves out of the way, of trying to figure everything out, trying to make everything happen, trying to force it, trying to take everything into our own hands. Because when we do that, what do? We take it out of God's. And so learning to trust, learning to rest, learn to keep showing up and doing the things you know to do. But when you don't know what to do, wait and rest and trust until you know what to do. And he will begin to make it happen through you. And then we got to find joy in the process. So we need to, as we go through this year, we know the direction. We got to get moving. We got to do the things we know to do. But then when we show up, we also got to show up the right way. Imagine two people show up to work out. One is just going through the motions, and the other one is showing up fully engaged, fully present, enjoying the process. They're going to get much different results. Just like I did when I was playing college baseball, when I was pitching. We got to show up fully engaged, fully present in everything that we do. Because just going through the motions does not produce the same results. Now, one of the biggest things I think that everybody could benefit from as we're walking out a new year here is implementing more gentleness. You're going to see this, saw this in the gym all the time. When I have my personal training gym, people start the year and they go crazy with very extreme workouts, very extreme nutrition. Maybe it's other goals they're working on, and they burn themselves out and they quit. They get, the most New Year's resolutions, people only make it a couple weeks and then they quit. They run out of steam. Why? Because they're not trusting the process. They want very quick results. And when the results don't happen and they get frustrated, they quit. Or they don't find joy in the process. What if you turned your nutrition, your relationship with God, your workouts, your relationships with the people around you, turn it into something you enjoy? There's going to be some things that you got to walk out. Anything that is worthwhile usually requires a process. It usually requires steps. Usually requires a journey to go through. We got to find enjoyment in that journey as well. We got to trust and we got to enjoy the process. And so we got to show up. How we show up. I want you to remember this. Joy is your indicator of presence. Joy is your indicator of presence. Hope and the confident expectation of good is our indicator of trusting. And joy and having fun is our indicator of presence. I'm not worried about the past. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not worried about an uncertain future. I'm right here in the present moment doing what I know to do with God present with me, where his grace is empowering me to do in this present moment what I'm doing. Whether that's I'm doing school with my kids this year, or as I'm working out, or I'm having a conversation with the people close around me, or whatever it may be, working on my purpose. I'm here in the present moment where God is, because he says, I am, not I was, not I will be. I am. I'm right here in the present moment. And we find that joy in the present moment. So how we show up every single day. Do we show up with hope, the confident expectation of good, with joy, with peace? How are we showing up every day as we go through this process? We're going to take a more gentle approach, and we're going to walk out this plan. Now, through the years at the gym, as people are walking out their plan, they're going through this process, let's say, of trying to transform their body, or whatever goal we're pursuing, whatever vision, whatever direction we're pursuing. What are some traps that we need to watch out for? Well, number one, people would get frustrated. Maybe they're not seeing, they want the quick fix or the quick result, and they're not seeing it as fast as they want it to happen. Maybe they're making progress, but not as quickly as they thought. Or maybe they have some injury, maybe they have some obstacles. Life tries to get in the way. The storms of life come up and try to knock them off the path. And so we got to take a more gentle approach. If you get frustrated and you're frustrated with your results and things aren't going the way that you want to, that's where we learn to trust. But that's also the time where, hey, we could ask for help. We could pray to God and say, all right, God, I'm getting frustrated by this. This isn't going the way I want it to go. Is this a time where I just got to keep showing up, doing what I know to do? Or do I need to make some adjustments? So I think some questions to ask as we go through this next year. If we're not seeing the results that we want to see, number one, am I showing up consistently doing what I know to do? Could that be, it could be in your relationship with God, it could be in your purpose, in your nutrition, in your fitness, in your relationships. Am I showing up doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing? That's the first question to ask. And then number two, am I showing up and enjoying it? Am I showing up the right way? Am I showing up full of peace, full of joy, full of confident expectation? How am I showing up? So am I showing up consistently? Am I showing up fully present, fully engaged? And if the answer to both of those is still yes, then it might be, all right, are there some adjustments that I need to make? All right, God, I'm showing up doing what I know to do, and I'm doing it fully present and enjoying the process. And all right, God, is there adjustments I need to make? Is it a case of simply I just need to keep doing what I'm doing and trust the process, or there are some adjustments that I need to make to my plan? And we can begin to bring these to God. And I believe if we'll bring those to him, Jesus says, learn of me, I will teach you. Bring it to me. My burden is easy and my yoke is light. And learn of me. He will teach us. If we will bring him to him and then just simply take the time to listen and be aware of what he's trying to show us, he will show us adjustments that we need to make. So am I showing up consistently? Am I showing up the right way, full of trust and hope and confidence and joy? And if the answer to those is yes, what adjustments do I need to make? Do I need to keep just showing up? Is it just a matter of time? Because sometimes if I'm doing the right things, it's just simply a matter of time as the process begins to unfold. If not, begin to ask God, are there any adjustments that you would like to see me make? These are some good questions to ask. So I hope you've enjoyed this topic of our yearly cycle about finding trust and enjoying the process as we walk out this year of 2021. I would love to have you join us. If you're not in the Abundant Life Blueprint, you can go to the abundantlifetrainingcenter.com to learn more about our program, the Abundant Life Blueprint, there as we help you walk out this plan that God has for your life, to walk out what he wrote in your book about you. But I look forward to seeing you next week.